Hi, everybody. It feels like it's been ages since I've come on and done a live, but I wanted to pop on today because I've had my first week of my business spring clean, and I wanted to just share that with you. So basically, for me, May is a month that I choose to do quite a lot of spring cleaning. I think we all do, right? We do the sorting out in our homes, we do our thorough clean, and I actually do the same thing in my business. So I think it's really important that firstly, we keep on top of things as we're going throughout the year, but there are some things that are more of a yearly type chore. Sorting out paperwork is definitely one of those things, right? So we accumulate a lot of paperwork as business owners, and we have very good intentions. So we might create some piles to sort out, to shred, to get rid of, to keep. And then what happens is those piles get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, we have to deal with them. Plus, there are historical documents that we keep for a period of time. Obviously, when that time is up, we need to sort through and get rid of them. Otherwise, we're holding on to too much stuff. What's really interesting now is that a lot of the things that we used to have to hold on to for documentation reasons can actually now be done digitally, which means that we can scan them in and upload them and get rid of those paper copies that are taking up space in our offices. So that's definitely an area. So let's look at some of the things that I do when I'm doing my business spring clean. There are obviously lots of areas you can look at, and some will be dependent on your business, but here are some of the key ones that I wanted to share with you. So the first one is your space. When was the last time you looked at your space, the space that you're working in? Is it working for you? Is there a lot in it? Maybe it's time to thin the herd a little bit with the things that you're keeping. Is it disorganized? Or does it have some organization? You know, when was the last time you could put your hand on something straight away because you needed it? Do you spend most of your time pulling everything out, trying to find that one thing? Often this is because our space is a bit disorganized. We might have a small space, that doesn't matter. Yeah. We might have a big space, whatever the space of size that you have, it probably needs going through every now and again to make sure that A, you've got the right things in the right places and that they work to now how you work, because you might have adapted your style slightly over the last year about what you want available to you and where. So think about where your drawers are, where your filing system is, how accessible is your printer, all of these things. Can most of the things that you need on a day-to-day basis be reached by you just leaning on all at hand? And the things that you don't need, are they filed away? But you know where they are. So look at that space. Look at what you can do to give that space a little bit of a spring clean. The next one is the paperwork, which I briefly just mentioned. The key thing here is to only hold on to what you need. Everything else can be uploaded to the cloud or uploaded to a specific site that requires you to demonstrate that paperwork, to have that paperwork available. Receipts, put them in your finance app, get them gone. We don't have to keep hold of everything anymore. So shred what you don't need, file what you need. Make sure there's a logical system around where you're putting things so that you can find them again. Another key area that I find needs a good bit of a spring clean every now and again is computer files, especially the download folder. Just out of interest, how much stuff have you got in your download folder right now? I know I have quite a lot because it's so easy to go onto things and download things. So whether you're on Canva and downloading all your images, and you might download 2 or 3 versions of the same thing until you're happy, making sure that you're deleting the things that you don't need anymore isn't always a priority for us. So go through that folder, start filing things, start looking at all of the Canva images that you're downloading. Where do they need to go? What do you need to keep? What can you get rid of? What's no good anymore? And the same with other things that you download, maybe PDFs, ebooks, all of those things that you might buy. They serve a purpose, so put them where they need to be. If you're not using them and they have no value for you, then let's delete them. Let's get rid of them. Let's keep that download folder relevant. I try to keep mine so there's only sort of a month's worth of stuff at any one time in there. But of course, we all get busy. I've been super busy in my business over the last month, and I'm probably not doing the daily routine of purging the download folder. So this is a perfect time to do that, as well as looking at some of your other folders as well. Look at all the things that you keep filing away. Sometimes we file them away with the intention of looking at them later and never quite get round to doing it. Make this month the month you do that. Yeah, for me, May is all about the business spring clean. So I'm not doing it all at once. I'm drip feeding this in throughout the month. So by the time I get to the end of May, everything feels refreshed. Everything feels like it's in its place and there's space for everything. So look at all of those computer files. Look at your online spaces. You know, if you're using Dropbox or anything like that, give those a purge too, because you're probably paying a fee to have a certain amount. And you could be getting close to your limit with stuff on there you just don't need. You know, even with a terabyte of data, if you continuously keep adding video files and loads of different folders, sooner or later you're going to reach your limit, and it's going to be a much, much bigger job to sort out when it gets to that sort of level. So try and keep on top of it. So all of those folders, all of those online spaces that you have where you're storing information, just give them a bit of a spring clean. Make sure things are in folders. Make sure things are easy to find. Make sure the stuff that you're never going to use again and are not keeping for any other reason is gone. Let's free up that space. But also, more importantly, I find that it isn't just about freeing up the space. It means there's less for me to search through when I'm looking for something. And it makes finding stuff so much easier. So streamline what you're holding on to online and on your computer files. Software. What software are you working with at the moment? What are you paying for? What are you using? How are you finding that you've got like 12 different bits of software that you're using? Give these a business spring clean too. Give them a bit of a purge. If you're not really using something, then remove it from your bookmarks, sign out, delete the account if it's something that you have an account for, stop paying the DD if it's something that you are contributing to, because these serve us no purpose. So let's get rid of them. But I will say that why are you not using it? Is it because you've just got lazy with it, or is it because it's not fit for purpose? And if it wasn't fit for purpose, has the software changed in the time that you had it? Because software companies are always updating and adding new features to their software. Maybe it can do more than it did before. Maybe it can serve you better. And the same way, if it's just because you've not been using it, put some processes in place to help it become part of your system. So give all of the software that you're using a little look-see. You know, is it serving me? Does it have any new features that I'm not using? Actually, is there a way that I can remove these two bits of software because this one now does all of that, and vice versa? What do you want to introduce? What do you want to take away? Just have a look at that. This sort of leads into your operational processes and systems. You know, what's working in your business, what's not. This is a great time to sort of look at where the bottlenecks are and the frustrations for you in doing the day-to-day stuff in your business. How could we speed that up? How could we streamline that a little bit more? Utilizing the software, utilizing the resources that we have, or finding something new. So for you, your business spring clean could be researching new opportunities with software. The point here is to look for improvements, look for ease of working. It's the same principle when we're tidying up our folders. The whole point is to make life easier for us, easier to find things, easier to catalog things, easier to use things. This is really important in our business. Another great area of doing a little bit of a spring cleaning is your own services and solutions. When did you last look at them? When did you last look at them from a customer perspective in terms of how they're filling the needs of your customers? Are they servicing the problem that they have? Is it time for a tweak, an evolution of an existing service? Is it time to let a service go? Maybe it's had its time. Maybe it was once amazing and once great, but now it's sort of a little lackluster. If we can't revive it, then be okay with letting it go. Streamline your offering. Make sure that your offering is key for your clients' needs. But I also want you to look at your products and services from your own perspective in terms of what is it like to deliver them? Are you enjoying delivering those? I mean, you know, I'm all about the happy in our business, right? Why would we spend time delivering services we don't enjoy working in or providing? Again, what changes could you make to get that enjoyment back? So definitely give those products and solutions a little bit of a spring clean. Finances. Dun, dun, dun. I know, right? Money. In our personal lives, we've started to learn the importance of keeping on top of our finances, looking at where our money is going, but also, you know, what DDs have we got going out? What commitments have we made? And I think most of us are reasonably savvy with that. However, when it comes to business expenses, I have noticed a lot of previous clients, current clients, and people that I network with and socialize with buying solutions they're not using. Oh, well, it's only £15 a month for that membership, so I'm just going to continue to pay that. When did you last use it? And if it is valuable to you, find a way to start using it. This isn't always about quick cut everything out. This is, what is this paying for? What value can it give me? Am I going to utilize it? If it doesn't really have any value to you now, you must let it go. I bet if you look at your subscriptions and DDs, and not just the monthly stuff, but the stuff that trips us up is the yearly renewals, because they're not on our radar all the time. If you're no longer using that service and you're no longer getting a benefit, then you need to cancel that and find a better solution. Or it could be it's just had its time, whatever it might be. But go through those finances and look for these things that are leaking out of your business. Give those a spring clean. Look at the way that you're managing your money. Look at where your budgets are. Yeah, what can you do to change those budget pots to get you into a more profitable position? Where are the gaps financially in your business? What could you do to fill those gaps? What could you do to create more consistent revenue? So some of these spring clean things are physical, i.e. the sorting out of something. Some are research based, some are creative based, some are getting us to think and prompts to do that. But the point is that we're taking a period in time to give the business a little bit of a focus, a little bit of a spring clean and tidy up. So whatever it is that you're using in your business, now is a great time to think about how it's working. You know, if you're like me and you're a bit of a stationery addict, I've got a whole drawer full of notebooks. And yet somehow I still use my tear off pads probably more so than anything else. I've got to get back into the habit of using those notebooks. Otherwise, that whole space in that drawer that they're taking up is a waste. Plus, there's some beautiful notebooks in there. So you might find some gems, you might find some things that you've totally forgotten about that are going to get you back into good habits, are going to make you feel great about being in the business. So definitely worth getting on board with the May Business Spring Clean, hashtag Business Spring Clean. So I'm doing it. I do it every May in my business. In fact, I probably talk about it most years as well. And it's just a great time to sort of purge a few things, feel a little bit lighter. It's very easy to feel like there's just so much when you're a business owner. You know, you're accumulating a lot of data, a lot of information, a lot of images, a lot of PDFs. I mean, the list goes on, and it can feel very oppressive. And just like when you do a spring clean at home or a sort out, there's this light lifting that tends to happen. Yeah, this lifting thing that makes us feel lighter. This works in our business too. I know that when I come to the end of May and I've done my yearly purge and I've done that big spring clean for the business, I feel like the business is lighter. I feel like the business is fresher, and I'm more aware of what's going on, where everything is, using things I'd forgotten about, getting back into good habits. This is a great time to do that. I'd love to hear if you're going to join in and do the business spring clean. I started at the beginning of this week, and it's something that I allow myself a whole month to do. And the reason for that is I haven't got time to spend a whole day sorting through computer folders, for example. But I might have an hour here and there. So I find it easier to fit this spring clean in and around my other business commitments, in and around the other things that I need to do. For me, that's the most realistic way. If I was to say to anybody right now, right, you're going to spend the next 24 hours doing a business spring clean, we'd panic because 24 hours is a lot of valuable business time. So don't not do it because you feel like you don't have the time. Just chip away at it. I'm giving myself a whole month to look at all these things, to sort through my paperwork, to sort through the computer folders, reorganize things, get a little bit more streamlined. Yes, I do stuff along the way. I think we all do. But I just feel like once a year, it just needs a bigger purge. And that time is now. So let me know if you're going to be doing the May business spring clean and what sort of things you're looking at. And if you've already started, what have you started spring cleaning in your business? Maybe there's some areas that I haven't mentioned, because there are a lot of areas, and I don't want to sit here all day talking about all the different things you can do to spring clean. But the core things, just as a quick reminder, is your environment, your space, paperwork, computer folders, online systems and software, but also those online solutions, storage solutions like Dropbox and so on. They all need a little bit of a purge and a sort. The products and solutions that you have, are they all still in the mix? And your finances, how are you managing that? What are you paying for? What's historical that's still coming out of your account that doesn't need to be? And actually, you might free up some finance to invest in something more beneficial for your business. And also, what I can tell you is that if you organize yourself just that little bit more, you will reap the benefit in time, because you won't be spending time looking for stuff. Where did I put that? Well, I'm sure I put it there. It's not there. Spending the next hour trawling through things trying to find it. Everything will be exactly where you need it, and you'll be a lot more streamlined in terms of how you're working. But also, I just think this lethargic, this sort of cathartic element of having a spring clean, I love that in terms of my home. So why not do it in my business as well? That way I get a double whammy in May. I get the bubble benefit, the 2 bubble benefit. So yes, let me know, what are you spring cleaning? Are you on board with the May business spring clean? And I'd love to hear how you're getting on. So have a wonderful weekend, whatever it is that you're doing. I know here where I am, the weather it's a little bit cloudy now actually, but it's been lovely the last couple of days and is scheduled to be lovely moving forward as well. So hopefully some garden time for me over the weekend as well. So have a wonderful weekend, have a great week, and I will see you all very soon.